I got it. 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 Okay, yes, 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 yes. We have officially entered into the age of war through technology. So, first of all, it was the Crowdstrike back in September when all of the airlines did not have the ability to log in and see passengers' flights. That's number one. That's where it started. Number two is when satellite communication for Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T broke down overseas. You cannot use your phone. Look it up. That was in June of last year, 2024. This year, the results of that are number one, there have been over 10 plane crashes in the past 30 days. The first one was the South Korea one on in December of, I want to say December 31st or somewhere in that range, right before New Year's. Since then, there have been 10 more plane crashes since then. One of them disappeared off the radar. Coincidence? No. That is because of the CrowdStrike breach that we already had. So we're already in a war that the government does not want to announce. Another one, the drones. They're ours. Trump already said it. What are they looking for? No one has disclosed it. Swept under the rug. So that's communication, satellites, banking is the last thing to go. And you want to know how I know that's the last thing to go? Because that is when it's in an all uproar. After that, is it? Oh, I'm sorry. I missed one key thing. The PlayStation Network is down. That's number three. Number four hits the banking where you're like, hey man, you swipe your credit card. You like, hey dog, I know for sure my balance had $100 more on there to get some gas. And they like, yeah, I know. You showing the clerk like, look, my phone, like I have $100 on there. Like, what's going on? He like, man, my payment system, it didn't work for the last person. They had cash. They had to pay me in cash, and then you gonna go swipe your card one more time. It's not gonna work. And then the next thing you know, everybody gonna be like, hey bro, your car working? Nah, your car, nah, you got Wi-Fi, you got internet, you can send some money. Over with. Literally, we've already entered into the stages of the movie that, what was it called? Damn it. Leave the World Behind. Bow. Telecommunications already went out. They got it back. Look it up. I swear I did a video on it. It's on my YouTube. Go look it up. This is where global started. Satellite communication came in handy. Starlink, shit like that. T-Mobile teaming up with Apple. Apple just teamed up with Starlink, which is Elon Musk. Just teamed up with T-Mobile and Globalstar. They got their own satellite communication. So if this ever happens where somebody breaches their networks, Apple, you already have the phones in your hand. People are already getting their lives saved through telecommunications. Apple is doing it. Samsung's been already doing it. Where did they get the information from? Samsung, China. China's doing all the data breaching. Boom. So telecommunications, number one. Number two, travel. They communicated. A Navy. They was able to hack into the government facility and send down a naval plane, two of them in the past year, meaning that the pilots basically had to deploy their parachutes and call it abort mission. The plane, I don't have no more control of the plane. And what does the government come on, like in Iron Man, right? When Iron Man got up there and he blew up one of those aircrafts that the government was, when it was Terrence Howard and the Iron Man dude. They basically had it said, hey man, we were testing something, it didn't go right, it blew up, boom, whatever. Just tell the public that. Same thing they doing right now, bro. A aircraft in Alaska went down. Medical airlines went down in Philly. I'm talking about the major ones that actually like the commercial ones. Oh, another commercial one that was transporting immigrants went down too. That's 3 commercial airlines, bro. That mean they already been tapped into the back entry of aviation. That's communication. So they already did communication and transportation. Number 3 is the food. China owns China owns more farmland than Bill Gates owns of farmland, and he works directly with fucking China, bro. Literally, look it up. It's a whole fucking map. It's a whole map that China owns farmland directly next to military bases. What they are not probably disclosing is that it's probably drones and shit around the places where China owns land next to Navy bases. Last thing I want to say is the water. So that's the food, that's the water. So the water access has already been cut off through California. You just seen the whole California burn up from Napa Valley all the way down to Malibu over the past 3 years. Lastly, you got Texas freezing, Florida freezing. The East Coast is already overpopulated. That don't even really matter. So once you cut off the water access, and then you got publicly traded companies that's on the stock market that own majority of the waters in these places that aren't freezing, like California or Florida, where there are abundance of water. So now you got transportation, communication, food, water. The last is how these people communicate on a day. How these people interact with each other on a day-to-day basis. Fiat currency. So we've already been through those 4 stages. Literally, they've hacked through every single thing. They've even hacked through T-Mobile shit, where it's to the point where everybody in T-Mobile has already been sending out a message where, hey, bro, your information has been compromised over like 3 or 4 times now in the past like 5 years. They just literally sending all on the news that, hey, bro, everybody's social security number is now compromised in all of America. Piece by piece by piece by piece. They just leave the breadcrumbs. So when all hell breaks loose, it's like, hey, bro, like, how you caught by surprise? Like, shit, all of this shit been happening for the last like 4 or 5 years. How can you possibly be caught off guard? This makes no sense at all. You gotta just start like. It's really no way to plan. Because they kind of like fucked us. Like they like hoodwinked us and like basically made us believe one thing was going to be true. And then the whole time it was a whole play going on this side. So now that we actually waking up and it's like, oh shit, we got like 4 or 5 years left. Maybe 3 years left before the head gasket blow off this shit. We don't even have no more hope. That's why like I'm looking at Trump. I'm like, damn, I don't even think Trump can get us out of this shit. For real, I think the fire is so big that I think he's just putting on the show. I think he just like the fire. I think the fire is so big, he like the fire department just showing up and just looking at it. I swear to God, I like from the shit that he's doing, it's not even making a dent in society. Like it's not even gonna, we are so fucked and corrupt. Like it's not even making a dent in anything. It's not going to change anything. It's going to be like one fire hydrant compared to all of the Malibu fires. Like imagine one of those fire hydrants had water in it compared to all of the millions of gallons that they could have access to way in the past years before. So basically what I'm saying is we could have stopped this parade way when Obama got elected, when he started doing all that bullshit with the gay marriages and niggas getting tripped like Trayvon Martin, all that bullshit. That's when I was in high school. I was 13 years old. And now looking back 15, 17 years later, it's over with. It's impossible. This is like if you look at the Gladiator, this is a perfect time to drop the Gladiator because it's in correlation to how civilizations crumble with implode from within, strictly. So basically, in the Gladiator, it's basically a corrupt. They didn't brought in so many slaves from other people, i.e., immigrants from other civilizations, that the essence of what you built the country on, Rome being a dictatorship and being forceful, America, i.e., being very forceful, you let so many people in that don't know how to keep up with the standard of living. After so many years, 20, 30, 40, 60, 70, 80 years, 100 years. Once you get to the timeline, you done let all of these slaves and immigrants in and have them weak and they having kids, and now you can't even control them because you just gotta let them go in society. Now they don't even know what to do because they just was brought over here to either work or die, one of the two. Now they didn't having kids and kids and kids and kids and kids, and you can't. And as an emperor or somebody that's controlling the vision of the civilization that you're trying to lead, it doesn't necessarily, you don't have eyes on what's going on in the back seat as the driver. So it doesn't make sense that you looking back at what the kids are doing when you driving across the country. Like that's the whole point of having a female in the car. But imagine the female is fucking passed out on cocaine and she not doing her job and the kids just back there going crazy. Should you lose one at the gas station? All type of shit go wrong. Like just imagine. So that's the stage that we're in America. We didn't let so many people in. Same with Rome. They didn't let so many people in for the entertainment and the gladiator. We didn't let so many people in for the buildup of America that it basically drained the standard of living that we were accustomed to in order to build the country to where we needed to be. So now we're at a point where it's like, fuck, we got to start over. Yeah. And we got a debt crisis too. These motherfuckers want citizenship. It's protesting up. Like, yeah, it's basically imploding in front of our face. We are basically, so there's like two more things. So it's the banks and then civil war with inside. We already at the civil war mark with Trump. He is like pushing people's pedal, like the Mexicans, like right on our borders. He basically pushing the threshold. The only other thing, yeah, it's no saving this shit. Like, we basically gotta move to Thailand and like just like third world country, whoever ain't like super advanced. If it's any high rises, just consider it not available anymore. Because after America implodes, each one of them are gonna implode beyond distinction. Like, if you look at China, right, they have more than 20 cities that have mansions, high rises that have been overtaken by nature, kind of like in the iRobot movie. Or was that iRobot? No, that was the other one that Will Smith played in when he was like the New York shit, whatever. But yeah, this is basically the end. How much longer this parade can go on, I don't see a way out. And Bitcoin pretty much ain't gonna save nobody. It's not. Because it's basically just gonna be a scavenger hunt for the next 10 years. Like, imagine the Great Depression during 2008. Imagine the Great Depression now after people are already used to having luxuries. Like, imagine you just can spend $50 to go buy a Don Julio bottle. Now you have to drink Smirnoff for 10 years straight. So you talking about civilization getting even worse. Or you were used to driving a Mercedes C-Class. Now you got to drive a Mexican-made car or something like that. I don't know. It's just like, you see what I'm saying? Like it's the quality of living is only going to deteriorate as we continue down the same path. Is there an upside? I don't really see. Just invest in American companies, because this is a consumer society now. America's still gonna be here, but it's gonna be like, oh, you still live in America? Like, that's so like 2008. It's like, all right, that's it for this video, man. Have a good one.